Help us, God, to understand your word so that we may embrace and follow your word as the disciples did. Hear us, fill us, and guide us through your message. Amen. Please be seated. Today's gospel filled my head with questions. What do we know about this man Zacchaeus? He was wealthy, Jewish, and a tax collector. Who did he work for? The Roman government. What did he do? He collected taxes from other Jews. He inflated the amount and kept a cut for himself. So why would he want to see Jesus? Jesus was a threat to his way of life. If the Roman government were overthrown, he would be out of a job. Because other Jews distrusted and hated him, he would have no help from them. Where would he go? What would he do? What would become of him? This must have worried him greatly. So he has to check out this Jesus fellow to see if he really is a threat. He is so desperate to find out something that he actually climbs a tree for a better view. He must have been shocked when Jesus invited himself to stay over at Zacchaeus' house. It would have been the last thing he expected. Do you suppose he thought about refusing? What sort of emotions were bouncing around inside of him? Fear? Curiosity? Anxiety? Joy? The other people there would have been just as surprised, wondering why Jesus would stay with a tax collector. Any one of them would certainly have welcomed Jesus to their home. But Jesus chose a sinner, a lost, blind soul. How did these onlookers feel? Were they jealous of Zacchaeus? Were they angry at, or maybe disappointed in, Jesus? Did they leave grumbling, or were they joyful because they had seen Jesus? To Zacchaeus' credit, we see no hesitation on his part. Instead, he repents. He promises to repay those he has cheated and more, and he promises to give to the poor. He is found again. He can see once more. And Jesus, being Jesus, forgives him. I would love to know the rest of the story. What happens at Zacchaeus' house? Did he invite anyone else over? And did they come? How long did Jesus stay? What did they talk about? What wisdom did Jesus share? And what did Zacchaeus do afterward? Did he try to be an honest tax collector? Or did he do something else altogether? We can only wonder. What if you knew that Jesus was going to be in Clinton, Maryland today? Would you go among the crowd for a look? How far would you go to get a glimpse? Would you climb a tree? What if he saw you and invited himself to stay with you? How would you feel about that? Would you wish he had chosen someone else? Would you rush home to get ready, clean the house, prepare food, shower, and change? Who would you invite and why? Do you think they would believe you that Jesus would be there? Would you be excited or maybe frightened? Would you be filled with anxiety or with joy? Would you be grateful or embarrassed? I would feel all of those things if Jesus were coming to my house. I'd probably go nuts, at least at first, but then I think I'd settle down and get over it. Just knowing that I would be able to be in his presence, that he would be right there with me. How awesome is that? Nothing else would really matter. Well, guess what? Jesus is already with me and you every day. He is in every moment of our lives, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And no matter what happens, he loves us, he blesses us, and he forgives us. Talk about amazing grace. Amen.